The forgotten beast that revolutionized motorsport forever. There are some beasts out there that have changed the course of motorsport history. Yet, for some reason, they have faded into obscurity, overshadowed by more famous names. So, from groundbreaking designs to unmatched speed, here are 10 innovations that changed the industry forever. The 1936 Auto Union Type C by Ferdinand Porsche was a Grand Prix car that stood out in its time. The car was powerful and ahead of its time with a mid-engine layout. This design was rare during that period, but it would later become a blueprint for many Formula One cars. The mid-engine layout of the Auto Union Type C placed the engine behind the driver but in front of the rear axle, which allowed for better balance and handling. This layout shifted the car's weight distribution closer to the center, which improved its stability and cornering ability. The Type C had a 6-liter V16 engine that produced 520 horsepower, making it one of the most powerful cars of its era. With such power and innovative design, the Auto Union Type C dominated the racing circuits. It was a significant force in the Grand Prix races of the 1930s, but its influence stretched far beyond its racing successes. The Auto Union Type C's mid-engine layout set a new standard in car design, especially for high-performance vehicles. Later, Formula One cars adopted this layout as it offered a superior balance of weight, stability, and handling compared to front-engine designs. The success of the Auto Union Type C was a turning point in motorsport history as it paved the way for the modern design of racing cars. Another forgotten beast that has changed the face of motorsport is the Chaparo 2J. Introduced in 1970, this car is often referred to as the sucker car because of its unique design that included two fans to suck air from beneath the car. This created a strong downforce that allowed the car to stick to the track, even at high speeds. The Chaparo 2J was designed by Jim Hall, an American engineer and race car driver. Hall's idea was to use these fans to create a vacuum under the car, which would effectively suck the car down onto the track. This concept, known as ground effects, was revolutionary at the time. The ground effects generated by the Chaparo 2J allowed it to corner at speeds that other cars could not match. The car had a 7.6-liter V8 engine that produced 680 horsepower, but its true advantage came from the fans it generated downforce. In 1950, the BRM P15 V16 made its debut as one of the most ambitious engineering projects in motorsport history. This car featured a 1.5-liter V16 engine that could reach over 12,000 RPM, which was unheard of at the time. The BRM P15 V16 was designed to be a dominant force in Formula One racing, but its career was plagued with problems. The engine, though powerful, was complex and difficult to manage. It produced around 600 horsepower, but the car often suffered from reliability issues. Despite these challenges, the BRM P15 V16 set the stage for the development of high-revving engines in Formula One. The Maserati 250F, introduced in 1954, was another car that made a significant impact on motorsport. The front-engine Formula One car was known for its agility and balance, which allowed it to win multiple Grand Prix races. The Maserati 250F was powered by a 2.5-liter straight-six engine that produced 220 horsepower. It was not the most powerful car on the grid, but its handling and balance made it a formidable competitor. The car's design was focused on achieving the best possible balance, which allowed it to excel on the track. The Maserati 250F became the last successful front-engine car in Formula One, marking the end of an era as mid-engine designs began to take over. The car's success on the track and its influence on car design made it one of the most important cars of its time. The 1973 Lancia Stratos HF was a car designed specifically for rallying, which was a first at the time. It had a distinctive wedge shape that made it stand out on the track, and its mid-engine layout gave it excellent balance and handling. The Stratos was powered by a 2.4-liter V6 engine, which produced around 190 horsepower. But it was not just about power. The car was designed to be light and agile, which made it incredibly effective on the tight and twisty roads of rally stages. The Lancia Stratus HF was built to win, and it did just that, helping Lancia dominate the World Rally Championship for years. The car's design set a new standard for rally cars, and its influence can still be seen in modern rally car designs. But next, you will not believe how a single innovation reshaped rally racing and left competitors scrambling for answers. In 1981, the McLaren MP41 made its debut in Formula One, and it brought with it a revolution in car construction. The MP41 was the first Formula One car to use a carbon fiber monocoque, which made it incredibly strong and light. Before the MP4, Formula One cars were built using metal frames, which were strong but heavy. The introduction of carbon fiber changed everything. Carbon fiber is much lighter than metal, but just as strong, which allowed the MP41 to be faster and more agile than its competitors. The use of carbon fiber in car construction was a significant technological leap, and it has become a mainstay in the sport. The MP41 showed that using new materials could give a team a competitive edge, and it changed the way Formula One cars were built. The 1962 Lotus 25 was another car that changed the face of motorsport. The Lotus 25 was the first Formula One car to use a monocoque chassis design, which was a significant departure from the traditional space frame design used in racing cars at that time. A monocoque chassis is a single shell that supports the weight of the car, which makes it much stiffer and safer than a space frame. The Lotus 25's monocoque chassis allowed it to be lighter and more aerodynamic than its competitors, which gave it a significant advantage on the track. The Lotus 25's design was so successful that it became the basis for almost all single-seater racing cars that followed. The impact of the Lotus 25 on motorsport is still felt today. The monocoque chassis design became the standard for Formula One cars, and it has been used in almost every single-seater racing car since. The Ford GT40 was a car built with a single goal in mind: to beat Ferrari at Le Mans. Ferrari had dominated endurance racing for years, and Ford wanted to put an end to their winning streak. The GT40 was powered by a 4.7-liter V8 engine, which produced around 485 horsepower, and it was designed to be both fast and reliable. The Ford GT40 was not just a car, it was a statement. It was a symbol of American engineering and determination, and it succeeded in its mission. The Ford GT40 won the 24 Hours of Le Mans 4 times in a row from 1966 to 1969, breaking Ferrari's dominance and establishing Ford as a force to be reckoned with in endurance racing. In 1980, the Audi Quattro made its debut in rallying, and it brought with it a revolution in car design. The Audi Quattro was the first rally car to combine turbocharging with all-wheel drive, which gave it a significant advantage over its competitors. Before the Quattro, rally cars were typically rear-wheel drive, which limited their performance on loose surfaces like gravel and snow. The Quattro's all-wheel drive system allowed it to maintain traction on these surfaces, which made it faster and more stable than other cars. The addition of turbocharging gave the Quattro even more power, and it quickly became a dominant force in rallying. Lastly, the Porsche 917, particularly the 917-30 model introduced in 1969, is one of the most legendary cars in endurance racing history. The Porsche 917 was designed to dominate endurance racing, and it did just that. The car was powered by a 4.5-liter flat 12 engine that produced up to 1,580 horsepower in its most powerful variant, the 917-30. This incredible power allowed the Porsche 917 to reach speeds of over 240 miles per hour, making it one of the fastest cars of its time. The Porsche 917 was not just about speed, but it also had the durability to withstand the rigors of endurance racing. The car's design and engineering pushed the limits of what was possible in race car technology.